Namaste, Guruji. Namaste, Aunty. Welcome, everybody, to book reading session. Aunty, you can take over now.
All right. Namaste to Guruji and Jai Guruji to all the listeners. So once again, let's resume the reading for today. Or let's bring our focus, our thoughts, our intention back together into the session with the aim of taking something back, taking something positive back with us. So let's do a quick recap कि कल फर्स्ट सेशन में क्या हमने कवर किया. तो दो लॉज के बारे में हमने पढ़ा था संगत जी. द फर्स्ट वन वाज द लॉ ऑफ प्योर पोटेंशियलिटी. सो उसके कुछ चंद तरीके, एंड आई एम गोना डू माय बेस्ट टू स्पीक अ लिटिल बिट मोर इन हिंदी क्योंकि मुझे ये फीडबैक मिला है. बट यू नो व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग तो वो नेचुरल फ्लो में आई थिंक मैं भूल जाती हूँ. सो प्लीज फील फ्री टू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड आस्क मी टू क्लैरिफाई फर्दर एज नीडेड. तो उसके कुछ प्योर पोटेंशियलिटी के कुछ जो चंद तरीके जो हमें जैसे कहते हैं सर्टेन टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स जो हमें बताई गई हैं, वो है कि वी हैव टू मेक इट अ पॉइंट टू सिट इन साइलेंस एवरी डे. और ये चीज हमें अपने बच्चों में भी इंस्टिल करनी है. थोड़ा साइलेंस में बैठेंगे, स्टिलनेस में बैठेंगे, एक्टिवली हमें नॉन जजमेंट को प्रैक्टिस करना है. एंड एक्टिवली हमें कोशिश करनी है कि हम अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी से चंद लम्हे निकालकर वी फाइंड द टाइम टू स्पेंड विद मदर नेचर. बिकॉज जो नेचर की बाउंटी है दैट इज एक्सट्रीमली सूदिंग, फुलफिलिंग टू आवर सोल. एंड टाइम आफ्टर टाइम ये आजमाई हुई कुछ आसान टेक्निक्स हैं. जो दूसरा लॉ था वो लॉ था वाज अबाउट गिविंग एंड रिसीविंग. गिव ओपनली, रिसीव ओपनली. और हर वक्त चलते फिरते उठते बैठते संगत जी कोशिश कीजिए कि हम ये बोलें कि सरबत दा भला. गुरु जी या आप जिस किसी में भी मानते हैं, सरबत दा भला. And you say that to every person you encounter, whether you like them or not. And I have personally been practicing because there's certain people, certain energy, certain aura that just doesn't rub you the right way. And it happens to all of us. But you say a special prayer for those people and just send blessings their way. So these are some of the little small things that we covered yesterday, and today we will be reading two additional laws. The first one is the third law, the law of karma or cause and effect. So before we get into that, थोड़ा सा इसका भी मैं सिंपल तरीके से समझाने की कोशिश करूंगी. जो ये लॉ है उसका तथ्य ये है, उसका एसेंस ये है दैट एवरी एक्शन दैट वी अंडरटेक, जो भी हम एक्शन लेते हैं, दैट क्रिएट्स अ कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग रिएक्शन और कॉन्सिक्वेंस. ठीक है, ये बड़ी कॉमन सी सेइंग है कि वी रीप व्हाट वी सो. जो हम बोएंगे वो ही हम काटेंगे. ठीक है. सो a very simple concept is that do good deeds and positivity will come back. अगर हम harmful चीजें करेंगे then eventually negativity will catch on to us. Simple theory है, इसमें कोई ज्यादा rocket science वाला concept नहीं है. So what this law is telling us that we need to be mindful of our actions, and we need to, when we are taking those actions, we have to think about the potential consequences stemming from that. So we can certainly ignore our actions, but we can never ever ignore the consequences stemming from that action. So with this understanding, I'm going to read from the textbook now. Karma is the eternal assertion of human freedom. Our thoughts, our words, and deeds are the threads of the net which we throw around ourselves. So इसकी different interpretations भी हम सबने पढ़ी है, right? कि हमारे जो thoughts होते हैं वो हमारे action बन जाते हैं. जो हमारा action होता है वो हमारा कर्म बन जाता है. और फिर वो जो हमारा कर्म होता है वो हमारे सामने आता है, और जब वो आता है तो कई बार वो बहुत दुखदाई होता है, और हम बोलते हैं कि हमारे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ? हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि जो हमने किया, चाहे हमें वो याद है, चाहे नहीं याद है, चाहे वो हमने इंटेंशनली किया, अनइंटेंशनली किया, वो ही तो है जो हमारे सामने आ रहा है. So this is essentially what the law of karma or the cause and effect tells us. So the third spiritual law of success is the law of karma or cause and effect. Karma is both action and the consequence of that action. Everyone has heard the expression, what you reap is what you sow. What you sow is what you reap. If we want to create happiness in our lives, we must learn to sow the seeds of happiness. Therefore, the law of karma implies the action of conscious choice making. When we choose actions that bring happiness and success to others, the fruit of our karma is happiness and success. One might argue कि भाई दुखी कौन रहना चाहता है? सब सुखी रहना चाहते हैं, right? But हम जब actions ले रहे हैं या कर रहे हैं या कोई कार्य कर रहे हैं, again, go back to what we learned yesterday. उस कार्य के पीछे आपका intent क्या है? अगर आपका intent truly है कि मैं ये कुछ कर रही हूँ so that I can bring fulfillment to the others around me, then chances are that sooner or later that feeling will catch on to you as well. In every moment, we have access to an infinity of choices. Some choices are made consciously, while others are made unconsciously. Unfortunately, a lot of our choices are made unconsciously, and therefore we don't think they are choices. And yet they are. As a result of conditioning, our choices are often triggered by people and circumstances into predictable outcomes. If I were to insult you, you would most likely make the choice of being offended. If I were to pay a compliment, you would most likely make the choice of being flattered. But think about it. You could make the choice of not being offended by an insult. You could make the choice of not letting a compliment flatter you either. So आप देख रहे हो कि कितना ये unconsciously हमारे इमोशंस ट्रिगर हो जाते हैं, और हमें लगता है कि हम तो ये कर नहीं रहे हैं. It's so natural, right? And that natural is coming from the conditioning, which is so deep seated in us कि हमें लगता है कि अगर कोई इंसल्ट करता है तो बड़ा जाहिर सी बात है कि हमारा मोरल लो हो जाएगा, या हम अपसेट हो जाएंगे, या हम गुस्सा हो जाएंगे, या जो भी. और जब हमें कुछ फ्लैटरिंग कहता है तो इट्स लाइक अ ईगो मसाज, और हम खुश हो जाते हैं. लेकिन हम ये रियलाइज नहीं कर रहे कि हम उस छोटी छोटी चीज में भी जो हमें लगता है सीमलेसली हो रही है, देयर इज एक्चुअली अ चॉइस दैट वी आर अप्लाइंग. The best way to use karmic law is to step back and witness the choices you are making in every moment. When you make a choice, ask yourself two things. What are the consequences of this choice? And will the choice that I'm making bring happiness to me? And will the choice that I'm making bring happiness to those around me? There is always one choice that will create maximum happiness, both for you and for those around you. This choice is spontaneous right now. The choice is spontaneous right action because it's the action that nourishes you and everyone else who is influenced by that action. How do you make spontaneous right choices? ये कैसे करें? हम कह रहे हैं ना कि हर सेकंड, हर मिलीसेकंड is a choice. तो spontaneously हम right choices कैसे करें अपनी लाइफ में? उसका जो टेक्निक बताया है वो है by paying attention to the sensations of comfort or discomfort in your body. Now, this is absolutely true. जब हम अंदर झांकते हैं अपने अंदर, तो जब भी हम कोई चॉइस ले रहे होते हैं, कोई डिसीजन, कोई कार्य कर रहे होते हैं, तो लाइक आई सेड कि सबसे पहले हमें अंदर खुद पता चलता है दैट इज दिस राइट और नॉट राइट, क्योंकि वो मॉरल कंपस, वो फिल्टर, वो छन्नी, वो सीव, आप जो भी इसको कहना चाहते हैं, वो सबसे पहले आपके अंदर एक्टिवेट होती है बिफोर एनीवन एल्स notices, before anyone else puts a judgment on it, before anyone else is impacted by it. It all starts within. अगर हम किसी को कुछ बुरा कह रहे हैं या भला कह रहे हैं, अंदर से, चाहे हम गुस्से के कारण कह रहे हो या खुशी के कारण कह रहे हो, अंदर से हमें पता है कि वो सही है कि नहीं सही है. अगर हम किसी से छुप छुप के मिल रहे हैं फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो वो भी हमारी अंतरात्मा एक बार हमें जरूर बताती है. एंड हमें क्या करना है कि उस आवाज को, जो हमारे अंदर की आवाज है ना, उसको थोड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है, so that that's not then silenced by everything on the outside or around you. So at the moment you make a choice, ask your body, what are the consequences of this choice? If your body sends a message of comfort, that's the right choice. Sometimes we say, no, we want to do this because I think it's the right thing to do. And we are not taking into consideration the feelings of the people who are actually in that space with you and who are sharing that space with you and might be very pivotal people in your life. But you're directly, by making those choices, you're directly bringing it into that shared space. And if that's bringing you, some sort of a discomfort, then listen to that message. If you feel uneasiness in your body, even as you ask the question, then it's not the appropriate choice. For some people, the message of comfort or discomfort is in the area of the solar plexus, but for some other people, it's in the area of the heart. Put your attention onto your heart and ask your heart what to do. Then pay attention to how you feel. The response may be the faintest level of feeling, but it's there. जैसे मैंने कहा ना, एक छोटी सी आवाज, वो हल्की सी धीमी सी आवाज हमारे अंदर हमेशा होती है. हम शायद वो सुन नहीं पाते. Very often we talk about the battle between the brain and the heart, right? You will know the answer is right because it will feel right without any lingering doubts. The heart knows the correct answer because it taps into the field of pure potentiality and infinite organizing power and takes everything into account. The heart is intuitive and holistic. It has a win-win orientation. हम क्यों कहते हैं कि tap into your gut, listen to your sixth sense? हम अक्सर कहते हैं, राइट, ये बात. और हम ये भी जानते हैं कि एक a woman's sixth sense, a woman's intuition is always, relatively as stats would have it, stronger than the other gender. And I'm not looking to get into a debate about wrong or right, but this is just sheer data that I'm sharing. And though the answer may not seem rational, the heart is far more accurate than anything within the realm of rational thought. Men generally are more driven by logic, black and white. They are unable to tap into those unsaid and unspoken feelings. So they're more they read things at a more surface level. And I feel like women are more equipped to uncover or unpeel the onion at a deeper level. You can use the law of karma to create money and the flow of all good things to you. But first, become aware of the choices that you're making in every moment. the more you become aware of your choices, the more you will make the choices that are spontaneously correct, both for you and for those around you. इसी को तो हम sometimes we talk about, oh, that person is very elevated. Elevated का क्या मतलब है? यही जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं. All of us have the potential to become elevated. How can you apply the law of karma to the choices you've already made? Most people pay their karmic debts, unconsciously, of course. Sometimes there's a lot of suffering involved, but the law of karma says no debt in the universe ever goes unpaid. If you want to transform your karma to a more desirable experience, look for the seed of opportunity within every adversity and tie that seed of opportunity to your dharma or purpose in life. And we'll read about this age in the next law. This will enable you to convert the adversity into a benefit and transform the karma into a new expression. Now, how do we do that? Begin by asking yourself, what message is the universe giving me? What can I learn from this experience? And how can I make it useful to my fellow human beings? So never dismiss the signs that the universe is trying to give to you. And never let anybody around you dismiss that or chalk it up to, oh, this happened because ABC logic, because there'll be a lot of forces around you that do that. But the way you're reading, be very receptive and be very open to those messages. For example, if you break your leg while playing sports, perhaps the message is that you need to slow down and be more attentive to your body. And if your purpose in life is to teach others, then by asking, what can I learn from this experience? How can I make it useful to my fellow human beings? You may decide to share what you've learned by writing a book about playing sports safely. This transforms your karma into a positive experience. So, छोटा सा example लेती हूँ that most parents with younger kids may be able to relate to. For example, when your kid wants to go skating, and you tell your child repeatedly that, hey, wear your knee pads and wear a helmet and secure yourself, and the children think, oh, they know it all, or they'll be fine, till they're not, and they actually fall and they actually hurt themselves. That's when they learn, and that's when they try to reassess the advice given to them with a fresh perspective. This happens to relationships. You might keep telling somebody about a person's intention, that, oh, I think this person is just here because it serves them well, and the other person is not able to see that, till that person actually says something that is hurtful to you. And when it actually hurts you, that's when you start to adjust your interaction as well. So how do you take the learning out of every experience that's happening, and how do you transform that into a positive experience that hopefully the others can learn from? Now, that being said, I always say that each one of us will always learn from our own experience. कोई किसी और के गिरने से नहीं सीखता, कभी भी. जब तुम खुद गिरते हो ना, तब हमें समझ आता है. And that's why we also say that more than any textbook, more than any teacher, more than any parent, more than any school, more than any institution or degree or certification or diploma, life is the best teacher. You can also transcend the seeds of your karma by becoming independent of it. The way to do this is to keep experiencing the self, your spirit, by going into silent meditation and coming out again. This is like washing a dirty piece of cloth in a stream of water. Each time you wash it, you take away a few stains and it gets cleaner. And again, we all learn at our own pace. गुरुजी हमारे बीच आए, इतना कुछ उन्होंने बोला, इतना कुछ उन्होंने सिखाया, हम लिटरली उनके वचनों को फॉलो नहीं कर पाए, right? Talk about not learning from somebody else's experience. I cannot give a bigger example than that. Every action is a karmic episode because action generates memory, memory generates desire, and desire generates action again. As you become conscious of these seeds of manifestation, you become a conscious choice maker, and the actions you generate will be evolutionary. As long as karma is evolutionary, both for you and for those around you, then the fruit of karma will be happiness and success. Now, how does one experience the law of karma? There's a summary given here, so we'll read through that. Witness the choices you make in every moment. The best way to prepare for any moment in the future is to be fully conscious in the present. So, analyze karo. Constantly analyze karo. अपने खुद के choices को, दूसरों के choices को नहीं. हम क्या करते हैं? We are so busy judging the others. We are so busy looking at the actions and reactions of the others कि self से तो focus हट ही जाता है. हमारा ध्यान चले जाता है बहुत easily on blaming the other. And that happens to all of us. Whenever you make a choice, ask yourself two questions. What are the consequences of this choice? And will this choice bring happiness to me and to those who are affected by this choice? Ask your heart for guidance and be guided by its message of comfort and discomfort. If the choice feels comfortable, go ahead with that choice. If the choice feels uncomfortable, then don't make that choice. And I will also tell you of situations where sometimes, Sangaji, you make a choice because in the present moment it feels right. And then eventually, as you know, the other variables come into play, you start to second guess the choice. And that is okay too. वो भी normal है. So based on whatever is happening in the present moment, take a moment to receive what's coming your way, receive it with an open heart, process it, listen to the inner voice, and then act. So this is law number 3, and now we are going to move on to the 4th law, which is also very interesting, and it's called the law of least effort. So इसका summary ये है कि हम सबके goals होते हैं, right? बड़े छोटे goals, personal objectives सब होते हैं. So ideally, we should strive to accomplish our goals with minimal resistance. And we should do so by aligning ourselves or being in sync with the natural flow of the universe. Now, if you have to uproot too many things to accomplish your personal goal, you may want to consider doing something different. If it doesn't feel like you are facing minimal resistance, or you feel that you're misaligned with the natural flow of the universe, reconsider that. And that can only be felt by you, by the way. No one else has the right to tell you how you feel. General चीज हम जो सुनते भी हैं और अपने बच्चों को भी सिखाते हैं हम, learn to work smarter on a daily basis, right? जरूरी नहीं है कि donkey की तरह you have to keep at it at the same thing. Look for more creative ways. Learn to जिसे कहते हैं फ्लोट इन अ मोर हल्के होके, जिसे कहते हैं लाइट होकर. And that can only happen if we learn to let go quicker. We have to learn to release that unnecessary tussle, that struggle, that weighs us down. We have to allow the things to unfold effortlessly, seamlessly. कैसे होएगा ये? जब हम acceptance को embrace करते हैं, जब हम accountability को embrace करते हैं, हम responsibility को embrace करते हैं instead of blame. अगर हमने कोई एक्शन किया और वो एक्शन करके हम दूसरे को ब्लेम कर रहे हैं कि ओ ये मैंने किया उसके कारण किया, या मैं गुस्से हूं उसकी वजह से गुस्से हूं, तो तुम्हारा फोकस अपने अंदर की टसल में जा रहा है और वो और स्ट्रगल को पैदा करेगा. एंड वी नीड टू फाइंड अ वे टू रिलीज दैट. एंड हाउ डू वी डू दैट? We need to start to reel our mind back into the present moment. We focus our attention to appreciating something that we like. And ये छोटे छोटे stress releasing tactics हैं. But the more we start to do that, and the more we start to trust that the best will happen, and the best will happen in its own way and in its own time, you will feel like you're not continuously fighting the universe. And that is essentially the law of least effort. An integral being knows without going, sees without looking, and accomplishes without doing. That's the quote. And this is not literally without doing. This is, the essence is without the tussle, without the weight that actually bears you down. Like we've seen, right? When does the ship sink? It's always floating on water, turbulent water all around, but it actually sinks when we let that water seep into us. So same with us. And the law of least effort is teaching us the fourth spiritual law of success, the law of least effort, is based on the fact that nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease, with carefreeness, harmony, and love. We were born to love. We were never born to naturally hate. जैसे हम acquired taste की बात करते हैं ना, anger and grudge and blame is also acquired. Our body was not designed to carry hate. Our body was not designed to carry grudges, but we do that. This is the principle of do less and accomplish more. When we learn this lesson from nature, we easily fulfill our desires. If we observe nature at work, we see that the least effort is expended. Grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. Fish don't try to swim, they just swim. This is their intrinsic nature. It is the nature of the sun to shine, and it is the human nature to make our dreams manifest into physical form easily and effortlessly. What is commonly called a miracle is actually an expression of the law of least effort. Least effort is expended when our actions are motivated by love, because nature is held together by the energy of love. When we seek power and control over other people, we spend energy in a wasteful way. A very powerful sentence that I think I needed to hear for myself today. So close your eyes for a moment. Soak in these words again. I will repeat it again. When we seek power and control over other people, we spend energy in a wasteful way. And dear listeners, I have to say that we are doing that intentionally, unintentionally, every single day of our lives, and we don't even realize that. A classic example could be a parent-child relationship, where we don't even realize that we are trying to exercise control. And yes, mind you, even if we say that it's well intended, undoubtedly it is. But do you see that sometimes in exercising that control, how listless we feel? Because we've expended our energy in a very wasteful way. And these lessons are very powerful. And I will say it again, not easy to apply. But all we can do is try, and try again. When we seek money for personal gain only, we cut off the flow of energy to ourselves and interfere with the expression of nature's intelligence. आप ये कभी भी आजमा के देख लो कि even if you are convinced in a fit of rage that I am right, और आप किसी को कड़वे बोल बोलो, तो अगर उस टाइम अगर आपको लगे भी कि देखा I won, कहीं ना कहीं आपको एक सेंस ऑफ खोखलापन वो कितना फील होता है, किस एक्सटेंट तक फील होता है, दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर sort of values as a human being. बट कहीं ना कहीं वो आपको लगेगा बिकॉज अगेन आवर इंट्रिंसिक नेचर इज दैट किसी को दुख पहुंचाकर हम कभी अंदरूनी तरीके से पूरी तरीके से हमें खुशी वो नसीब हो ही नहीं सकती. We waste our energy chasing the illusion of happiness instead of enjoying the happiness in the moment. Attention to the whims of the ego consumes the greatest amount of energy. But when our internal reference point is our spirit, our actions are motivated by love, and there is no waste of energy. Our energy multiplies, and the surplus energy we gather can be channeled to create anything we want, including unlimited wealth, when we harness the power of harmony and love. We use our energy creatively for the experience of affluence and evolution. How can you put the law of least effort into action? There are 3 things you can do. And this is very, very powerful. The first thing is to accept. Accept people, accept situations, accept events as they are, not as you wish they were in this moment. This moment is as it is, as it should be, because it took the entire universe to make this moment. When you struggle against this moment, you struggle against the entire universe. So embrace the stillness, embrace the acceptance that जो ये क्षण है, जो मैं महसूस कर रही हूं, the people, the situation, the घटनाएं, the incidents, events, जो भी आप बोलना चाहो, is exactly how it's meant to be. So you are relinquishing your struggle against the entire universe, and you feel lighter. You can intend for the things to be different in the future, but in this moment, accept things as they are. That's step number 1. The second thing is to take responsibility for your situation and for all the events you see as problems. This means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation, including yourself. Responsibility means the ability to have a creative response to the situation as it is now. Again, not past, not how it could be or should be in the future, as it is now. All problems contain the seeds of opportunity, and this awareness allows you to take the moment and transform it into a better situation. If you do this, every upsetting situation becomes an opportunity for the creation of something new, of something beautiful. Every tormentor or tyrant becomes your teacher. The relationships you have attracted in your life are precisely the ones you need at this moment. There is a hidden meaning behind all events that is serving your own evolution. And if you choose to interpret reality in this way, then you will have many teachers and many opportunities to evolve. Sometimes don't we say so easily, oh my God, I really regret meeting that person. No, that person came into your life because that's exactly how it was meant to be. And if you look within you, you'll find a ton of things that person actually taught you. And those were our opportunities to evolve. So why are we chalking it up to just regret and resistance and grudge and hatred? A third way to put the law of least effort into action is to practice defenselessness. This means relinquishing the need to convince others of your point of view. Very, very important, because we get so consumed in trying to do that, just convincing the others that my point of view is right. And I'm not saying not to do it. Do it once, do it twice, do it thrice. After that, just rest yourself, because there is no need to do it any further. By doing this, you gain access to enormous amounts of energy that have previously been wasted. When you have no point to defend, you stop fighting and resisting, and you can fully experience the present, which is a gift. When you embrace the present, you begin to experience the spirit within everything that is alive, and joy is born within you. As you drop the burden of defensiveness and resentment, you become light-hearted, joyous, and free. In this joyful, simple freedom, you will know that what you want is available to you whenever you want it, because your want is coming from a state of happiness, not from a state of anxiety and fear. The law of least effort assures us that there is always a simple, natural path to fulfillment. हम कई किताबों में भी ये पढ़ते हैं, right? कि अगर हम किसी के खिलाफ ग्रज पकड़ के बैठे हैं, so what we've done is we've given them a free space in our hearts and our mind. Let go. Feel lighter, because you owe this to yourself, not to the other person, but to yourself. Nature's intelligence unfolds spontaneously through the path of least effort and no resistance. This is the way that you can live too. when you combine acceptance, responsibility, and defensivelessness, your life flows with effortless ease. Your dreams and desires flow with nature's desires. Then you can release your intentions without attachment. And when the season is right, your desires will blossom into reality. So, can we all take a pledge today that we will do our goddamn best to practice these three things that we are all learning together? To experience the law of least effort, accept people, circumstances, and events as they are in this moment. When confronted with any challenge, remind yourself this moment is as it should be, because the entire universe is as it should be. Take responsibility for your situation without blaming anything or anyone. That's how actually you will empower yourself. When you take charge. जब हम किसी से गुस्से हो जाते हैं ना, we actually are handing the remote control of our emotions, of our life to the other person. That here, push any button you want and I will react. No, take it back. That control should be with you. And yes, we all have certain people, maybe the closest ones are the people who have the most power over you and have actually the power to pierce through your armor. Reevaluate that also. If that is happening every day, then reevaluate it. Without blaming anyone or anything, including yourself. Every problem is an opportunity to take this moment and transform it into a greater benefit. Relinquish the need to defend your point of view. In defenselessness, you remain open to all points of view, not rigidly attached to one of them. So these are just some techniques that the author has shared with us. And personally, I feel that these techniques are very meaningful. And again, maybe I sound like a broken record here. There is tremendous power in intent. If you're saying something to someone because you truly love that person or you truly want the best for that person, there is power in intention. So this is the two laws that we wanted to cover today. If there are any questions, feel free to raise your hand and ask. And in fact, I'll go on camera now, and I do want to cover a few topics that came up yesterday based on what I shared yesterday with you all. And maybe I'll preface it up here because it might be beneficial to any of the new people listening. So yesterday I got a question offline that you talked about the 4 points, and one of the 4 points was that instead of just simply praying to Guruji, and usually our definition of prayers is less gratitude and more of a wish list. Guruji, ye de do, ye de do, ye de do, ye kar do. आज इसकी blessing दे दो, आज मेरे बच्चे को ठीक कर दो, आज मेरी job का setting करा दो. So our prayers, we don't even realize when we pray to Guruji, we are actually giving him a wish list. And again, if you're not doing that, that's great. But that happens. And I said, instead of praying to Guruji, you should also pray for Guruji. And somebody asked a beautiful question that how do you do that? And I said, exactly the way you do it for your loved ones. The way you pray for, the way you pray for your child, the way you pray for your spouse, the way you pray for yourself. That's exactly how you need to pray for your Guru, that energy source, by offering something, by making a sacrifice. अगर आप अपने loved ones के लिए हवन कराते हो, या पूजा पाठ कराते हो, या एक जपजी साहब का पाठ पढ़ते हो, तो अपने गुरु के लिए क्यों नहीं? Similarly, when it comes to celebrations, when it comes to, for example, celebrating something for your child, What do you say? I want the best cake, the best decoration, the best this, the best that. जब गुरु घर की बात आती है, हम अपने पर्स स्ट्रिंग्स को पीछे कर लेते हैं कि चलो थोड़ा सा चढ़ावा दे देते हैं, as if we are doing a favor to our guru. Again, it is all about intention. It is all about reminding yourself that everything that you're getting is from the same energy source. So how can you ignore that source? In fact, that is the only thing that is permanent. Rest everything around you is transient. All about being mindful of those factors. And that should come from within. So I just wanted to address that. If there's anything else, Ekta or any other listeners, feel free to preface that, and I will do my best to address that to the best of my capacity.
Thank you, Aunty. If anybody wants to ask any question, please raise their hand. Today, I think nobody wants to ask.
Okay. All right. I will figure out the next slot with you, Ekta, offline.
Okay, Aunty. Thank you.
Yeah, and
So we
that'll probably be
definitely,
the
okay,
final
we
session.
have one hand, Aunty. Anutur,
Yeah.
Aunty wants to ask something.
Yeah.
You've explained it so beautifully that we have no questions is my say on all of this. So thank you.
No, I'm also learning. Thank you. Thank you so much. But
Feedback
the
is
next
very
session will be sorry, go ahead.
Feedback is very important for the reader and the people who are doing seva for all of this. So just giving the feedback that everything was done perfectly, that there's no need for a question.
You're always so kind to me. I appreciate you. Yeah, so next time when we connect, it's going to be the final session, and I truly hope and I pray that we take away with a lot of nuggets, that we walk away with a lot of nuggets that we can apply in our everyday transactions in the spirit of making ourselves better.
Absolutely. So we'll not be meeting tomorrow.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I will look at my calendar again, and because even on Tuesday I'll be in the office, so I need to figure out when we can meet next.
So
But
Sangaji,
I'll
we'll
keep
let
you
you know
posted.
a bit in advance when we are meeting.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody's flexibility, just trying to juggle a few things here.
Okay, Aunty. Thank you very much.
Jai Guruji.
Shukrana,
Thank
Guruji.
you.
And thank you. Shukrana, Sangaji, for joining in. Jai Guru.
Thank you, Aarti. It was